This is Happy Bird from Happy Bird's Glitter Nest.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make these super duper easy little word ornaments for your Christmas tree. They're made with Hobby Lobby stickers and cardstock and a special opal glitter medium that I found, and I'll tell you more about that in the next part of the video. So I think they turned out really lovely though. So stay tuned and I'll show you exactly how to make these beauties. Okay, so the first thing I used was 110-pound white cardstock, and I chose to punch out 3 layers for each ornament. You can use 3 or 4. Now if you use a lighter weight cardstock, you're going to have to punch out more layers, and that will totally depend upon you. But I'm using 3 layers with this 110-pound cardstock. Okay, so the next thing I used was a very old punch that I had, and they still have it, believe it or not. It's by EK, and if you go on Amazon or eBay and type in the words EK Tools Sign Punch, then it'll pop up for you. Now I did find that Amazon probably would be cheaper for you if you have Amazon Prime, because that's free 1-day shipping, okay? Whereas on eBay people have to charge for shipping. So anyway, this is what I purchased, and gosh, I'm trying to think, this has to be at least, it's got to be over 10 years old, maybe closer to 15, but it still works, still cuts very well. And we'll go ahead and I'll punch those layers out and then we'll be back. Okay, so as you can see, I have my 3 little signs punched out, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some Beacon Fabri-Tac and I'm going to glue all of these together, and I'm just going to get it, just put a small amount, you know, around the edges especially, focus on. Not too close to the edge, but close enough where when you press it down it'll seal it around the edges. And of course you could use the circle punch, any type of punch you'd like, but I just thought these looked so pretty. Got a little bit of glue on my hand, but I'm not worried about it because we're going to put glue on here anyway. Okay, the edges here. Try not to squeeze too much. Okay, and then lastly we will put this on here, and I just kind of do this, make sure it's nice and even, give it a little press here like that, yeah, just like that. And the important thing is make sure it's even. Okay, now I'm just going to allow this to dry for about, well, half an hour or so, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so I found this opal glitter medium, and I found this in the section where they carry the oil paints and markers and all of that in Hobby Lobby. And to be honest with you, I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I just saw this and I thought it was really pretty, and so I had to pick it up. And it's a gel, and I later learned that people use this in mixed media paintings and whatnot to give it a little bit of sparkle. I don't know if you can see, but it's really pretty. This was $8.99, but I didn't pay that because I had my 40% off coupon, and so that's what I used this on. And the brand name is called Master's Touch Fine Art Studio. Okay, And it's very different than glue, but one thing I like about it is when it dries, the gel shrinks, and so it's what looks like it has texture suddenly is flat. So that's really nice. Oops, I forgot to tell you though, before I use this, I usually give it a shake just to mix up the glitter. Okay, it doesn't even feel like glue, which is the odd thing. It's definitely a gel. So I'm just spreading this on with my finger, like that, and I'm going to put on a kind of a fairly thin coat, not super thin, but not super thick either. This goes on very nicely, and when this dries, it really holds onto that glitter. I mean, you won't see any glitter fall off at all. It's really kind of cool stuff. Okay. So I'm going to allow this to dry under my tabletop fan, and the gel does take a little bit of time to dry, and once this is totally dry, I'm going to come back and I'm going to give it another layer for even more sparkle. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, so I allowed this to dry for a few hours, and as you can tell, it's totally dry, and there's no glitter or anything that rubs off on my finger, see? So I'm going to go in with a second thin coat, or fairly thin I should say. And by the way, if you're wondering how I wash this off my hands, literally it just comes right off, just running it under cold water. That's it. Alright, put this on, making sure I get the edges too. And you'll see a real difference once this second coat is on. And it just looks so lovely. Okay. So I'm going to look it over, see if I missed anything on the edges, and it looks pretty well covered. So I'm going to go ahead and let this dry again under my tabletop fan for a few hours, and then we'll return and we'll do the rest. Okay, so I went ahead and let this sit for several hours. No glitter whatsoever. Okay, and so I think it looks very pretty. So the next thing we're going to do is place some word stickers on here. Now I found the best word stickers at Hobby Lobby. I really like how well they stick, and they almost remind me of vinyl. I mean, they really hold on there. Now these were originally $2.49, but I didn't pay that because they generally have these for 40% off at least a couple of times a month. And there are 19 stickers. I've already used some of them, as you can tell, but they're very pretty. And here are some word stickers, and there's 66 pieces in this package for $2.49, and you can peel these off individually and, you know, place maybe 3 different little words here, like grace, mercy, and love, or something like that, you know. So check out the stickers at Hobby Lobby. They have a lot of really pretty ones. Now you could also, if you find that some word stickers that won't fit on this, you can always use a different punch. You can use a scalloped edge punch, you know, a large one. It's totally up to you. I just used this because I thought it was so pretty, and most all of these fit just beautifully, either this way or this way. I think the only ones that didn't fit was this extra large Noel here, but that's okay. I could use, like I said, something a little larger. And oh, the little Christmas tree. I was sad about that because I really liked that, but the bottom part was just a little too wide. But the rest of them fit beautifully. Even this right here. So I think the one I'm going to choose right now is this one. May you have a very merry, bright and cheery, happy little Christmas. I think that's cute. Now you can't pick at these to try to peel them because they really stick, and you'll just end up bending and messing up the corners here. And once you do that, there's no going back. So what I do is I just bend the actual paper until I can lift this off. And as you can see, it's very strong, very sticky. Alright, so I turn this over, and I'm going to kind of hover around the top first before I decide exactly where I want to place this, because I don't want it cockeyed or anything like that. I think right about, let's see, thinking, let's see, and be patient with this part because it will come out the way you want it if you're patient. Okay, and then I just do this all the way down with my finger and along the edges, and it sticks so well. But just as an extra precaution, I mean, it probably doesn't even need it, but just as an extra precaution, I went in with some more of this opal glitter medium, and with just the teeny tiniest amount on my finger, I went along the edge here and at the top and at the bottom, and you can't even see it once it dries. I mean, you really can't. And like I said, I'm just doing it along the edge of the sticker here. And even though it doesn't seem like you're putting a lot on, it really does dry hard on surfaces. So I'm going to slip this back under my fan, and when it's completely dried, which really shouldn't take all that long, then we'll move on and I'll show you the decoration part. I think you're really going to enjoy this. It's well worth having the patience for the drying time because they turn out so lovely. Okay, so to start with, I'm putting on this little bail in the back, and I'm going to be using the Beacon Fabri-Tac, and yes, it does hold it very well. Now I found these beautiful little bails, 6 in a package at Hobby Lobby. They're the jewelry shop brand, and they're hanging up where all the other findings are, and they come in gold and silver, and you get 6 of them. Now their package says $3.99, but I never pay that. I always pay $2 for the package because at least twice a month they will have all of their jewelry shop findings for half off, and that's just been the case since I've moved here to Texas. At least that's what I've found. So it has a nice little recess here in the middle, and it's really nice because you can put your glue in there, and it kind of helps hold it, you know, the glue. So I'm going to put a little bit in there like that. And I'm going to center this in the middle, right at the top, and give it about a minute to grab. Okay, once you have it on, just let it sit, give it a minute or so, and then it should be dry enough to where at least it's on there. And you might want to, use your mat to make sure it's centered correctly. That's going to be important, and I'll show you why in a moment. Yeah, that looks good right there, I think. Okay, so I've had these little Swarovski iron-on rhinestones for years. I think I bought these at Michael's probably, oh gosh, maybe 12 years ago. And they've been sitting in my drawer, and I hesitated using them because they're genuine crystals. And so I didn't want to use them on just any project. I was saving them for something special, like I'm sure many of you crafters do. And then, you end up not using it. So I pulled these out and I thought, you know what? I'm going to use these. So, I'll tell you the truth, I don't even know why I bought them. I was probably unconscious at the time. So, okay, let's see. I'm just going to put some glue right here. And I'm going to place it right here at the top. And I'm getting it all over my fingers. Okay, there we go. And placing it right at the top here, right above the scroll, the scroll work right here at the top, and right below the bail. And it grabs very quickly. I can feel it already. And it just really gives it a little added touch. So you can find your prettiest rhinestone. Now, if you need this to bend slightly like this, you can always do this to get it a little straighter. Just don't do it too much, just a little bit like that, and really that will do it. Because by the time you let this sit overnight again, then you'll see that it becomes much harder. It's like the glitter on there has time to cure, and then once it cures, then you'll notice it being much stiffer the next day. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to allow this to dry for a good half hour, and then we're going to come in and put in the little charms, and you'll see how beautiful it turns out. Okay, so for this part I'm using my bottle cap hole punch, and I'm going to punch 3 holes. One here in the center, one here on this little scallop edge right here, and then over here. And you can measure it if you want, but I think I'm going to just eyeball it. Let's see, middle, yeah, okay, and then right here, and then right here. So now I have 3 holes at the bottom. So I'm going to take a 6mm jump ring, and I bought these jump rings at Hobby Lobby. It's the jewelry shop brand, and a 6mm. I made this little angel to go in the center here. So I'm going to slip her on first. Now you don't have to use homemade charms. If you don't want to, you can buy the charms that they have on cards in the craft store. Okay, and then I made a couple of little tiny charms here with a 6mm bicone and a couple of 4mm pearls. Just very, very simple. And I'm gonna open those up and put these on. Okay, I have to kind of feel for the break so I'll know where to open my little jump ring. Oh, it needs to be a little wider, I think. There we go. Alright, let's try that. Yeah. Okay. Right here. And then another one of these on the other side. Okay. Just slip this on and hook this up. Okay. All right. So let's move this out of the way, and I'll see if you can see this. Let me move this camera down a little bit. All right. There we go. I don't know if you can see it or not. All right. So next, I'll be using this pretty metallic gold eyelash yarn, and there's probably a lot of really pretty yarns about now in the fabric section, especially during the holidays. So I'm just going to slip this through here and just give it a couple of overhand loops here at the top. Cut this off right here. And brush these out of the way. Sorry about that. Okay. So this is what we have. I don't know if you can see the shine, but it really is a pretty opalescent shine to this, and I'll show you the other two I made. And I just think these are really, really pretty, and you can put a little message on the back if you want, because this is just cardstock. If you don't want to do that, you can take the time to put some more of this opal glitter medium on the back after you do everything. So, yeah. I hope you like these, and I really love the way these dangle and flow here at the bottom. I think this would look so pretty on any Christmas tree, especially one with a kind of a shabby chic theme to it. So, thank you so much for watching this video, and God bless each and every one of you, and I wish you peace and joy and happiness. God bless you all. Bye-bye.